All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by two veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, Stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
Woo! Pack it up, pack it in. Yo, it's the Tuesday Night Crew. The crew's live. The vibe is right. We bring the fire, the grit, and the sound. The Misfit Nation, so jump around. Veterans, leaders, stories untold, raw conversations, brave and bold. No Phil is here. We break it down. Truth hits hard, straight off the ground. So grab your seat. The party's loud. This is the crew. We own the crowd. From laps to lessons, real and true. This is your night. It's the ToosDay Crue.
Jump up, and get down.
Let's go. I figure for this.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. I figured for this show, Rich would play something witty like Flight of the Bumblebee or something. But hey, how you doing, Stephen?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. How was your Labor Day?
I put new tires on the last car, did an oil change. So it's not bad. The shop was closed, so I had it to myself. I went in there, shut the alarm off, did what I needed to do, and I went home.
Good deal. Me and Mrs. Holland actually spent quite a bit of the weekend on horseback, and had a great time till we had the walking into the nest of ground hornets incident. But we came out of that pretty good. We got Mrs. Holland all taken care of, got her epi shot, and got the horse calmed down, got back on, made it back to the trailhead just fine. So everything's good to go.
That's fantastic.
Did you get your chili dog today?
No, I didn't get a chili dog today. I kind of just did the laundry, relaxed a little bit, hung out. Thursday, though, I go for an interview for a promotion into another store, so that's pretty cool.
Congratulations!
Move around. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
instead of being still.
Oh, look at that! We got applause now. Hey, I tell you what, we got a great guest this evening. I was kind of led on to this guy by my sister-in-law, Karen Rochat, lives out in Lexington, Oklahoma, and Steve Easom. He does. I ain't going to pretend to know anything about it. He does a lot with bees. He is a United States Air Force veteran from Slaughterville, lives in Slaughterville, Oklahoma. He served in Desert Storm, and he practices safe bee removal. He works with veterans that are having life challenges, teaches people how to keep bees, how to safely remove bees from areas that you don't want them. And, without any, which I think is great, because without the honeybee, we're going to lose. We have to have honeybees for the human race to survive. I truly believe that. It's science. It's out there. So without any further ado, let's get Steve on here and get him to talking about himself and talking about some bees.
Well, good evening, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, let's start off with a little trivia, okay? World War II, the British developed the first unmanned aircraft, and they called it the Queen Bee. All unmanned aircraft from that day till today have been named after the male bee, the drone. So when you hear people talking about flying a drone, now you know where the name came from the male bee. So great to be here this evening. That and probably $1.50, well, actually maybe $3.50, you'll get your cup of coffee. So I'm not sure that it'll help you that much, but at least you know where the name drone came from. So great to be here, and great to just share just one other avenue that is out there that can be, no pun intended on that, helpful to those that maybe have some life challenges, maybe just want to learn how to be a beekeeper as opposed to being a bee haver.
I understand. Now, I didn't give much about you. Basically told what you're doing now. I didn't talk much about your career before this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, if you want, and how you ended up doing what you're doing today?
Sure. So my dad was in the Air Force, so we traveled around and ended up in Mississippi. I went to Ole Miss and then into the Air Force. I was actually born in Maine. That's why my wife calls me her Maine man. No more jokes after that. But anyway, I was in the Air Force and traveled around Langley Air Force Base, and then quite a bit around the world. I ended up here at Tinker Air Force Base flying the E-3 AWACS and Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and then went back to Saudi Arabia teaching the Saudis how to do what we do on the AWACS on theirs. And then came back to Oklahoma, and we bought land here in Slaughterville. And we really didn't know what we wanted to do farming wise, because we weren't into cattle, we weren't into horses, pigs, chickens, and that type of thing. And I heard about an opportunity to go back to college and get my degree in beekeeping through a program called Heroes to Hives. Great program. And so we have partnered with them. We are actually warriors to bees, and we are the hands-on aspect of the college component. The cool thing about the college component is there's no GI Bill needed. You can take that course free of charge. Just sign up. That's all it is. And then you can take it all the way through master's if you want. And that's what I did. I got my master's in beekeeping. And once I did that, it just made sense to utilize our land, because a lot of people don't realize that honeybees are actually livestock under the USDA. So there's a lot of opportunities for education and workshops and mentorships and stuff when it comes to farming. So you don't have to really know much about farming to really jump into bees if you're just willing to really enjoy it. It's kind of hard for a lot of people to kind of fathom that, you have 40,000-60,000 bees flying around you and you're actually enjoying it. But we wear the proper PPE. We go through all the training, just like we did in the military. Before we ever did anything, we went through a lot of training. Same thing with the bees, as we spend time. And that's what the Warriors to Bees aspect of it is. Every third Saturday, March through November, we have people come from all over the United States to Slaughterville, Oklahoma. And we have a facility here that's designed for training bees. We have a temporary living quarter. People can stay. And every third Saturday, we get in here, and from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., we train and teach how to become a beekeeper. We teach how to build strong, healthy hives, and then the bees do the rest of it. So very, very enjoyable, and something that we very much field is very important, not only to us as human beings, but also to the honeybees, which, as you mentioned, provides a lot for us.
So when I come down to visit family, I can just, if I'm going to be there over a Saturday, or just plan my trip to when I can just sign up and come over.
You really don't even have to sign up. You just come on. Now we do have warriors2tobs.org. That's our website that you go to, and you can sign up. The cool thing is we have our hands-on, but we have every Monday night after that third Saturday. If you've signed up, you'll get a link, and you'll actually be able to join us for a live virtual class on that Monday night following the Saturday.
Okay. All right. Right on. I'm gonna put that on my list. That'll give me something to do while I'm out.
So again, all one would have to do is go to Warriors to Bees. There is no form or anything. It's basically signing up, is connecting us with your email, and then we don't sell it, we don't give it out. We just use it to give you the link or give you the dates and times, the syllabus. We have complete syllabus training, so you know what we're going to do before we do it. Gives you an opportunity, hopefully, to do a little research on those areas of training. And but a lot of people use the Monday night virtual for after they've come to the hands-on on Saturday. You always leave from any kind of training with questions, and so that Monday night gives everybody a chance, because it's fresh on their mind. They don't have to wait till the next month, and they can go ahead and ask those questions. And if you didn't come to the training, it's very beneficial to you, because a lot of the questions are very much what you're interested in knowing before you jump into anything like this.
Okay. All right. I got 30 acres here in Kentucky, and we keep some horses, sometimes a few cattle, and a lot of chickens. And I figure if I go out and plant me 10 acres of wildflowers somewhere, I don't have to brush hog it all. So, and
there you go. Well, I'll throw out a little bit more knowledge. Do you know that 2 mature flowering trees will give you more pollinating and nectar resource for the honeybee than a full acre of flowers? Just 2 mature trees.
I
flowers
did not know
are great.
that.
Trees are even better. And but one of the things I was going to mention is your footprint of land does not have to be very big, as long as you're in a good location for the honeybees. What I mean by that is they're not like cows or pigs or chickens that you have them in a contained area. Honeybees fly. They go somewhere else. So they will fly up to three miles in any direction to forage and get their food. So for where we live in central Oklahoma, honeybees do a lot better in the metropolitan areas than they do out here in the rural areas where I live, because we're dependent on Mother Nature to provide rain. In the city, people water, and it's the water for the plants that allow the plants to go through their cycle of nectaring to provide food for the honeybees.
Okay. All right. Now, I also read on your website that you do safe bee removal. And
yes, that is correct. Yes,
so
we one of the things that we do is some of the veterans like to go out, and it's really a mission, because you really need to understand construction, and we use thermal imaging, we use endoscope, we get a great plan on where those honeybees are at and what it's going to take to get to them, so we have the least amount of damage getting into the structure to get those honeybees and the comb out, get them back here, and then those bees go into the program that the service members that are in to be able to manage those bees. So it's a great thing where somebody has a problem with bees, the bees get taken care of, and the bees then end up helping the service member that is, like I said, going through some life challenges. So the cool thing about the program is it's a full circle program. This is our 4th year now. We've trained 456 service members through the program, and many of them have come back in and now are mentoring other service members through the program.
Awesome. That's and again, that's part of that, not losing your if you was an officer or a senior NCO or whatever, and that was your job to mentor lower enlisted or whatever, that can help them kind of redefine their purpose. Hey, I am I'm sharing my knowledge on this younger person or this person that's not as experienced as I am. And
Very much so. Yes, very much so. I think a lot of us go through that period of time after we retire uh, or we separate that we just really don't have that same kind of atmosphere that we had in the military. And when we're extracting honeybees, I have so many folks that say, man, this kind of reminds me of being on a mission or a deployment or something. And so that's one of the areas that does that. But we also have options for some people that they go through part of the course and they find that bees are just not for them. And so they'll maneuver into our woodworking shop to actually make the bee boxes and those type of things.
Okay.
Or they gravitate over to the blackberries and maintain those and help those. We grow those for the bees, but they provide a U-pick operation where people can come and pick blackberries. So there's several things, and we just now have a young lady who served in the Navy who has come on board, and she's going to be using part of our land to plant and prepare cut flowers. And so that's another avenue and opportunity for some of these veterans that, again, bees just aren't for them, that they can go and be a part of. So we're excited that there are multiple facets of what we do. And some of our veterans, we actually help them establish a business where they'll take their bees and then they'll process honey or process their wax or raise bees. There's probably about 8 or 9 different revenue streams if one wants to have a business. And so we help those service members not only learn how to maintain and manage bees, but to develop a business plan if that's something that they want to do. Many of our folks really just want to have bees and enjoy them to pollinate maybe their garden or their flowers, or they want a little bit of honey. So there's a lot of different facets to what one may be wanting to achieve, and we listen and help them to actually achieve their goals in those areas.
Well, you know, I did a little bit of research on it, and once you get set up, your reward is, as far as the amount of honey that you get, it's a pretty high reward. It's not like chickens. I think my first egg or my first dozen eggs that I got out of our chickens probably cost me $1,000 for that first dozen of eggs. But I imagine that bees are probably a little better on the cost ratio. You know, if I'm going to get a quart of honey or however much honey I get off my hive, the cost benefit is going to be a little bit better than a lot of other animals.
Well, they will if one decides to go down the path to become a beekeeper versus a beehaver. And so honeybees, even though they're very small and we don't keep them inside of a fence, they still have to be managed, and we need to apply certain practices to them to help them to survive, not only survive, but to thrive. And once we achieve that, and that's what we train and teach you and help you to do. Now, the cool thing is there are many paths that one can take to manage bees. And so it's not necessarily my way or the highway. There's a lot of opportunities to do things differently, and you kind of choose your approach, your application to managing bees that fit your area. For instance, we have some of our service members who are in wheelchairs. Most of the hives that you've seen before are what we call the Langstroth hive, and they're the vertical hive, right? That's typically what you see is the vertical hive. But someone in a wheelchair is not going to be able to manage and maintain a vertical hive. Once it gets past the height that they can reach, that's it. So what we do is we help them and we build horizontal hives so it gives them an opportunity they can manage bees. But you need to learn the pathway that works for you to be able to manage those bees in that way, which is going to be different than how I would do it in my vertical hive. So those are all kinds of things that come into the mix that we really spend time to listen to each person that wants to have honeybees and helps them. The only thing I ever tell people that want to take a different path, it's just like with anything else in life. When you want to take that path, you have to look to see with what you're doing, is it effective? And if it's not effective, then you need to take a different path. You just don't stay on the same path. And that's really where we get into and spending time with people is to help them to understand their effectiveness in it, and then their outcome is going to be much greater as they kind of figure that out for themselves.
Yes, yes. We had a question pop in. I forgot to. At Flanesh, you what? How accurate is the process shown for extracting honey in Jason Statham's movie, The Beekeeper? Thank you for that question.
Well, I always tell people when you watch TV or specifically YouTube, all right, when you watch YouTube, and it doesn't matter whether it's about bees or about whatever, this is the thing you need to think about. You don't know what they did before they turned the camera on, and you don't know what they did when they turned the camera off. You just see right here. So always be very careful when you take an approach. Like, for instance, in the honeybee world, we see folks in the honeybee world that wear hardly anything, and a lot of that's influencers to get people to watch, and we know how that works. So I always tell people, wear your PPE. Why? Because it's a mission. We are there to perform a task. And you know, and I know, and they know that if the bees start stinging us, we're stopping. And then we're going to suit up, and then we're going to continue on. Well, if you're going to do that, go ahead and suit up, wear your gloves, wear your PPE, and then go into it, get your task done, and then move on to something else. But it's really staying focused and achieving the objective. Again, enjoy your bees, but complete the mission.
As a matter of fact, I watched a video on TikTok, and it was in, I think, somebody's garage, and they called it in because they heard the buzzing sound, and they literally took out, say, a 6x8 section of sheetrock, and it was one giant hive. And the lady had just a little bit on, and then they started swarming. She's like, "Oh no, I'm putting on the full gear," and they had like 3 people all of a sudden trying to remove all these hives out of the wall. Like, they were trying to be cool for the video, and then also like, "Oh hell no, I'm getting everything on right now."
Hey, yeah, bees sting. They do.
Yeah. Exactly. And
now here's another little bit of knowledge. The drone, as I mentioned, is the male. He has no stingers. So if you ever get stung, it's not the dude, it's the girl. Girls are the only ones that sting. Now, the queen,
I didn't know that much about bees.
Yeah, the queen, she is very, very interesting in that the drone, the male bee, and the little female bee, they only live 45 to 60 days. That's about their lifespan. But the queen, she can live up to 7 years. So she's the constant factor inside the colony, as well as comb. Those are the only 2 things that are really constant. Everything else is moving very fast. And again, that's why we look at things, and we as human beings can learn so much. You know, in the military world, they use honeycomb, the design, in a lot of different military approaches, whether it be stocks on guns to aircraft parts to different things. The honeycomb design is used, and so we can learn a lot as human beings from the honeybee, not only in their design but also in the way that they work together as a colony to achieve the objective. So it's very very revealing. All the different things, whether it be the TV shows or the social media platforms and things, you can learn a lot out there about honeybees. But really, until you open up that box and 4,000 bees come out at you, you really haven't experienced the honeybee.
Right.
Now, you mentioned the queen living 7 years. I know if the queen dies, the hive dies. Now,
well,
when it
actually,
time...
so that's a question that I get asked all the time. If the queen is laying the unfertilized egg, which is a drone, which is a male, and a fertilized egg, which is going to be a female bee, if she's laying the eggs for them, well, where does a queen come from? And I always tell people Walmart. No, the queen don't come from Walmart. Right? Here's what happened. If there's nothing cool that folks listening tonight go away from, this is the cool factor of the night. So when a queen bee goes missing, she's either swarmed and left, or maybe she's just gotten older and she's not as potent as she used to be, or maybe she dies. The second that happens, the little bees, the nurse bees, the newly hatched bees inside, they will make a queen cup and then a queen cell. It looks like a peanut shell built on top of the comb. Then they will go in with their little tongue, their hibiscus, and they will take one of the fertilized eggs that the queen laid that's now missing. They have to do this within 2 days. They take one of the eggs that she laid that was going to hatch out in 21 days to be a little female bee, and they move it from the cell she put it in, and they put it in that queen cup or queen cell. Then they feed that egg that was going to be a little female bee in 21 days. They feed that egg royal jelly, a lot of royal jelly. And the
Okay.
royal jelly tells that egg, you're not going to be a regular female, you're going to be a queen. And she's going to hatch out in 16 days as opposed to 21. Now, is that cool or what?
That is cool. And I got to pitch in here. You know, I don't know that much about you, but I got to pitch in here that I believe that is God's perfect way of taking care of nature. It there can be.
Everything about it has God's hand on it. Yes.
It does. It does. Yeah. From the perfection of the comb to, yeah, just like, hey, we lost our queen, we're going to make another one. And that's what they do. That's amazing.
Now, the cool thing as a manager of honeybees, if in the wild they do not requeen for some reason, okay, then what's going to happen is those female bees, their hormones are going to change. They really want to make that colony make it. And their hormones change and they begin to lay eggs, those female bees. The problem is they're all virgin females. That means all of them are going to be unfertilized eggs. All of them are going to be male, and the colony is going to collapse. As a beekeeper, when we recognize that they lose a queen and they don't requeen, then what we can do is go to one of our other hives, rob some eggs, take it to the hive that doesn't have any eggs, and they will take those eggs and make a queen. So that is, again, part of the management training that we provide and we can do. So occasionally we step in for the honeybee, but most of the time we just support them to the point that they do the work, and we enjoy we reap the rewards of their work, which is the honey and wax, and this the enjoyment of getting to watch them grow and build their colony.
Yes. And then the sweet taste of that honey. I probably use a quart of honey probably about every 2 to 3 weeks. We use a lot of it around here at the house. And yeah, I think that would be something great to be able to produce myself.
So for your area in Kentucky and in New Jersey, in the Northeast, in the northern states, really, again, trees are very strong. They provide a lot of flowering, and honeybees do very well. The honey from honeybees is going to acquire its color, its smell, and its taste from the flowers that it gets. So people ask me a lot, what is local honey? And I always tell people it's not about mileage, it's about foliage. It's about the flowers in the trees and that distance that bee flies. So if the bee is flying in an area that brings in the pollen that you are ingesting while you breathe, then that's the honey that you need to be purchasing if you want to use it for that particular purpose. So I always tell people, think about the area that it comes from and the flowers that it comes from, and then you utilize that honey in that way.
So what are the perfect flowers or trees to have to start getting bees to be in the area? That's the question.
I always tell people that what grows best in your area, right? So exotic, no matter if it's an animal or a plant, is exotic because it didn't grow there. And it probably didn't grow there because it won't grow there very well, or it won't grow there long for very well, maybe 4 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years, but then it dies because that particular climate isn't friendly to that particular plant or tree. So whatever is native to that area that flowers and provides nectar, those are the kind of things you need to be planting and growing. And they always say the best tree ever planted is 30 years ago. So plant your trees now.
Yes. And I think the bees around here probably get most of their we have soybean fields everywhere. And when those soybeans flower and bloom, I'd say that's where they get a lot of it. And we got a lot of wildflowers, tulip trees, a few magnolias, not too many, but you know, we have some flowering trees that everybody puts out. But yeah.
So from your planted plants that yes, cherry blossoms. You got a lot of hardwoods up there that are apple trees, cherry trees. Of course, down south we have peach trees and oak.
I think he lost his connection a little bit there, Stephen.
Yeah, he froze up a little bit, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we will take that opportunity right now to take a short break when he pops back on. Hey, folks, if you're just joining us, we are talking with Steve Easom. He is with the Warriors to Bees project, and he is out there in Slaughterville, Oklahoma. He can be found at warriorstobees.org. And now for our main mission of our show. If you're out there, you're feeling the darkness, and you don't think that you want to see tomorrow, stop and reevaluate that. If you need somebody to talk to, get on that phone, dial 988. If you're a veteran, take option 1. Somebody will talk to you. If you don't want to talk to them, drop a line to info@the-Misfit Nation, Stephen at the Misfit Nation, or Jake at the Misfit Nation. Put your phone number in there. We'll call you.
Yes, we will.
We will call you, and we will have that conversation with you. We will listen to you, because tomorrow is going to be too beautiful of a day for you not to be here in it. You know, and like we always say, do not take that permanent solution to a temporary problem, because I guarantee you, and you know, I'm going to take my life. Things can be fixed and things will get better. I am living proof of that. So please get on there and talk to somebody about it, because we kind of want to have you around.
And September just happens to be Suicide Prevention Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. Thank you for bringing that up, Steve. And it is. And, you know, our mission is always going to remain the same, is to keep you here because we want you here. Because, you know, who knows, one of these days I might meet you on the street. We strike up a conversation, because I will talk to anybody. Our producer can verify that. And we strike up a conversation, become friends. It's been known to happen. And who knows, you may help me as much as I help you.
Exactly.
Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
Proceed to your post assignment. All units proceed to your post assignment.
And we're back.
We are back. We are back. Hey, Stephen, I tell you what, we're going to have to, if he can't get back up online, we're going to have to reschedule Steve. Maybe next time I'm out there in Oklahoma, I can get with him and do some clips around and post them up to the site and just kind of see what he's doing out there. I think it's an amazing thing. And I think it's a great thing that he's doing. But that's about all I know about beekeeping.
But it all comes back to what Richie always talks about, knowing what to do with your hands. And this gives everybody the opportunity to learn something new to do with their hands once they're out.
Yes,
yes. They're building this, they're planting this, they're keeping their minds focused on something, and they're using their hands every day to do something.
Yes.
And that's always good.
So what happened in the world of NASCAR this week, Stephen?
Cars went in circles, some crashed, and one person won.
I don't even know where they were racing at. So that shows you how in tune I was this weekend. Like I said,
I sadly fell asleep at the end of the race, and I read the next day about the results. I'm getting old. I fall asleep. It's something that happens.
so you don't even know who won.
Chase Briscoe was your winner this week, and they were live in Darlington Raceway. It was a spirited match with a fight, a crash in the first lap. Go figure. And it wasn't Bubba Wallace causing this one. It was someone.
But Chase Briscoe led most of the race. He had a kick-ass car this week. For somebody who won only one race all year and been lacking, he kicks some ass this week.
Yeah. And I did watch one college football game this weekend. I could have walked away from it hurt and disappointed, but the things that we did well, we did really well. We just, we got the Irish nations got a few little things to work on. They can recover from this. And, the Texas game really disappointed me. And, but then after I heard the news about the Alabama game, that kind of uplifted my spirits again. So it was kind of an up and down week in the college football world.
I think last night, the unveiling of Coach Belichick in the college football world, people thought there'd be a lot better outpouring of North Carolina. I try to explain to some people that TCU is way better on paper. They should. Yes. And then the Belichicks came out and scored a touchdown on their first drive, like super easy. And then that kind of put a cloud over my thoughts on it. But then it wound up being 48-14 TCU, just like the stars aligned and God said, this is how football is played in Texas, not North Carolina.
TCU is one of those teams you can put them up. I wouldn't be afraid to stick them up against Ohio State and say, hey, go get them, boys. And I would be afraid to call that game. That's just the kind of team that TCU is.
You also need to keep in mind that it was the first game of the season. It's not the end of the world. It isn't NASCAR where they have their Super Bowl as the first race, and then they go around from there. It's their first time, a real game. So let week one go away, and then let's see week two who starts, kicking it and moving up and around. Then we start to work.
And hey, Misfit Nation, if you are still out there and if you have questions for myself or Stephen, feel free to pop them in here because we're going to run out of stuff to talk about, and that ain't going to be pretty.
Well, my question to Rich and you, like you said, you don't follow NASCAR all that much. But how is this whole chartering thing going? Because you got like, you know, Wallace, Bubba Wallace, and Michael Jordan's team has no charter. They might not really exist now, let alone next year. How does all that work in this car? You know, who do you got to pay in? You know, what do you got to do with all that? And how is your car still on the field if you're not actually part of the charter? You know,
Charters,
all
charters
that.
is actually NASCAR's version of the franchise.
Mhm.
The NASCAR charter issue refers to a federal antitrust lawsuit, which is currently filed by 2311 or 23XI, Michael Jordan
Right.
and Denny Hamlin, person racing, and Front Row Motorsports. Both of those two are the only two that did not sign the charter last year when it was put up. A trial is scheduled for December 2025, where Denny Hamlin promises all the laundry is going to come out. But until that time, their 3 cars, and I think Front Row Motorsports has 2 cars. They're basically racing race to race because they don't have that. They don't have the franchise behind them.
Kind of like when Martin Truex Jr. first started out and was with Furniture Row or Mattress Warehouse or no Denver Mattress.
Denver Mattress.
Yes,
It wasn't a charter thing. That was no one wanted to pick him up right away when he left.
Right. That was just the team that picked them up. Yeah.
DEI.
Yeah.
When DEI folded, there was no one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just find all that it basically it all comes down to money. I'm guessing.
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Yeah, because I saw something Michael Jordan's like, really don't think I'm going away to you. You know, no matter the outcome, they obviously he's like they don't know who they're messing with. They're going to be playing games with me. And the man's a legend. He's been around. He probably has the pockets that he'll just keep fighting and fighting until he gets what he wants. You know.
Right now, NASCAR has told Michael Jordan that they don't care. They already have a buyer for one of the 2 charters that are out there. So it's Michael Jordan's team or the Front Row Motorsports, and that's what the Court of Appeals is looking at right now.
Okay. All right.
On the plus side for all the Logano fans out there, he's in 13th position, 13th place right now. Just so they know.
I think he was in that wreck in the beginning.
Yeah, well, he was hit, but it wasn't bad. But still, let him drop further.
You know, I think Tony Stewart needs to come out of retirement, and his main mission is going to be to ensure that Logano does not win the championship.
Well, see, that's why I thought he was, training Briscoe. Is that Briscoe was his puppy for a couple of years. I thought he was going to be the one to go out there and become him. Now he just needs to get comfortable on a different car with a different team, and become that now. I'm guessing.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Hey, Misfit Nation. I'm going to ask again if y'all got any questions for us, or something better yet, type in. And is there something specific that you would? Oh, look at this. Lucifer 34, Stephen Jake. How much research do you do before each show?
I really
know. I actually do quite a bit. I get on there. I read the bio that they send us, and then I get on the internet. I'll look at LinkedIn. I'll look at Facebook. I'll look at
check YouTube videos and
check YouTube videos.
Has their own shows.
I will. A lot of times I'll go in, especially if it's an author or somebody that provides services, I will go in to reviews and see if they have any reviews and try to pull that up. Occasionally, if they're an author, I will go to Amazon and where you can read an excerpt to the book. I will read that through a few of their books so I can kind of get beforehand what they're doing and try to get some research. So I got some good questions for them.
What were we drinking? I'm sorry, Dozens Dirty Laundry. What were you drinking in that short video you shared a few weeks back? It could have been a bunch of things because I drank a little bit of a lot of things that night.
I was probably drinking a cranberry sparkled water.
Mm.
That stuff was pretty good. Pretty good.
It was.
Somebody
It was.
gave me a jug with clear liquid in it. It might have been a shot of that. I don't know.
Yeah, and hey, I will admit, I have virtually quit drinking any alcohol, but I did have a toast with my partner in crime here of some clear, mysterious liquid that came out of a Walmart distilled water jug. So
Did it say not water on it?
It said not water on it. So
I've seen those bottles before.
Yes, because
it might have been dirty water. I don't know.
according to the guy that gets them, his wife may or not have watered plants with one of those one time because she puts her plant water in those.
What's going on?
What's up, Bird? We're doing great, man. Just out here living life and living the dream.
We are doing fluff work right now. That's how we're doing.
How are things in Charlotte, Bird?
Don't say that. Do not say that, Stephen.
For whoever's still out there. Why? It's the truth. Triple truth.
It is. We're just here doing fluff work because I don't know what happened to our guest. Good evening, Nina. Give that youngin' a hug. Tell her Uncle Jake loves her, and so does Aunt Mickey.
Right on.
All right, fellas, start wrapping it up, I guess.
All right. Well, hey, Stephen, I asked this of every guest, or we asked this of every guest. What are your 3 non-negotiables every morning when you get up?
Take a shower.
Okay.
Get coffee.
Get coffee.
And try not to have road rage going to work.
Okay.
How about
I like
3?
that. My 3, I get up, I pray every morning. Every morning, that has to be done. Whether it's just a little one thanking the Lord that I woke up, or I might ask for something specific for a friend or for a relative. And then coffee, gotta have coffee. And I usually have to have a movement before I leave the house. If not, I'm not going to make it to work.
And I can usually tell if he didn't.
Do not go to the first stall.
He does the second stall.
Yeah.
That's his.
Well, hey, fellas, I will reach out to Steve and make sure everything's okay.
And don't forget, Reach Across America, Monday, 3 p.m. Mr. Nation Show.
There it is.
All right.
You can also check us out on Heroes Media Group. That's right. We're always here on YouTube, Spotify. Look around, look for the Mr. Nation, you'll find us.
Yeah, and everybody on here has our email address. If there's something specific you want to see in a show, or a specific guest that you want us to get on there that you think would be interesting, email us.
If you have somebody you want us to talk to,
email us and let us know, and we'll try to get them on the show. We will try to get them on the show. And just like always, Misfit Nation, thank you for joining us this evening. And remember, tomorrow will not be as beautiful a day if you're not in it. So, keep it up. And we will see you next Tuesday. And hey, you need to check out next Tuesday, because I promise you it is going to be an intriguing show. I am fixing to start doing my research on it tomorrow.
It's still the day after Monday, right?
It is still the day after Monday.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
It was
Well,
Christmas.
Stephen, you have a wonderful week. Misfit Nation, you have a wonderful week. We love you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.